What's up, family? How y'all doing? Back at you. Um, I wanted to make this video because I've been wanting to make it for a while. When it comes to the violence of this world, um, we have to stop the violence, man. And I know it's cliche to say, but it's the truth. You know, um, the way we're hurting each other, the way we're hurting ourselves is not the way of God. We were all born children of God, and we weren't created to to harm one another. Now, are there instances where you have to defend yourself and your family and your friends? Yes, of course. Understand that. But I'm talking about, the looking for trouble. I'm talking about the revenge. I'm talking about the jealousy, the envy, the insecurity, the ego. You know what ego stands for? Easing God out. That's what ego stands for. Easing God out. And the consequences are dire, especially if you black. You going to jail or you dying. Jail is hell. Jail is hell. You make a decision when you're young, or you don't even have to be young, but usually when you're young, and you end up in jail for the rest of your life. You know what happens in jail? Jail is a jungle. You get stabbed. You get your manhood taken. You know what I'm talking about? You get turned out. Like, it's real, bro. Stop playing. Stop playing out here. And understand if you're from a violent environment, but we all have choices. You can choose to, you know, stay away from things, no matter what somebody says. What do you care what somebody says? That's another thing, caring what people think. Got to stop that shit. But you know, it's just so funny because I'm like, I remember back in the day, you know what I mean? Our parents were poor growing up. We were poor. I'm an '80s baby. We grew up kind of poor. But nowadays, these kids don't even grow up poor. Like, they ain't even growing up like, people did things out of necessity back in the day, hustling, making money, because, it was bad. Nowadays, these kids are spoiled brats and they still out here killing each other because it's the thing to do. Don't understand that they brainwash, you know? Having a gun is like having a phone now. It's out of control. You talk about weapons of mass destruction or is the atom bomb. No, weapons of mass destruction is the pistol. You know what I mean? It's the gun, the semi-automatic. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm all for the Second Amendment. You should have guns to defend yourself and all that. But that's the last resort, man. You know what I mean? You hear about people are so gun happy these days. You hear about accidental death. You hear about you know there was one case where a father shot his daughter because he didn't know who she was and all that. Cause you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, go down with a bat or something. Like, be cautious. That's another thing too. Guns are made to kill. Like, if you're not cautious with a gun, that's why I don't go to a gun range like that no more. Cause you got people out there just going to the gun range like it's a date, like it's a. Not saying that it's not, but you know what I'm saying. They just going casual. Like, yo, do you understand? These are killing machines. You know what I mean? But just the violence has to stop. The violence has to stop, guys. We got to do something. You know what I mean? Even if it's just chilling out, staying to yourself, stay out the way. We all got phones, we all got supercomputers in our pockets, video games, whatever you got to do to stay out the way, stay out the way. If you got to get two jobs, keep yourself busy. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, you can get, in my last video, once I got locked up and I realized I could have everything I wanted without having to take penitentiary chances and putting myself out there, I was good. That was my children, my freedom, beautiful woman, and good food. You can have all those things without having to take penitentiary chances. And you talk to people that have done, stints in jail, long stints, 10 plus years. They don't want no problems no more. They want a job. You know what I'm saying? The illest niggas. They want a job. They want to just, a good home and all that because they took it for granted when they were outside. See, young people take stuff for granted till it's taken away. People, period. You know what I mean? And the drugs and alcohol don't help. You feel me? If you being influenced by drugs and alcohol, you ain't even yourself. Alcohol derives from the Latin word alcohol, which means body eating spirit. This is why they call alcohol spirits. So when you drunk, you ain't even yourself. Think about it. How many times you done got drunk, blackout drunk, and you know? So, I just wanted to make this video to stop the violence. Summertime's here. You know how crazy it get in the summertime. Everybody gotta chill, man. You know what I mean? They just killed the boy, was it LFB Qua from Philly, man. That shit was so sad, man. Like, he doing positive. Like, what's going on, bro? What's going on with our youngins? And as a black man, as a black father, I take responsibility for, saying something. Because it's ridiculous out here. It's ridiculous. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's ridiculous, the amount of killings out here. Around the world. Free Palestine. What's going on over there? You know what I mean? Everything else. Looking like we might be going to war. More killing. More young people killing other young people. And for what? For some old people? Think about it, man. We got to smarten up, guys. You know what I mean? And we got to put God first. If God was right next to you, would you be killing? If Jesus was right next to you, if an angel came down, was right on your shoulder, would you kill? Well, guess what? God is with you. Jesus is right behind you. Angel is on your shoulder. But you got to decide. You got to decide if you're going to care what people think, or you're going to let your ego, which ain't you. See, the biggest trick the ego plays on a person and makes it think it's him. Your ego is not you. That's another entity that was created that makes itself feel like it's you. It ain't you, buddy. That ain't you. That ain't the real you. The real you is a loving, caring, compassionate human being. Now, don't get me wrong, you gotta be tough. Like the old saying says, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Yes, you have to know how to defend yourself, protect yourself, but that don't mean with great power comes great responsibility. Just because you got a gun, just because you can protect yourself, don't mean you gotta act on it. Chill out. Relax. You know what I mean? Chill with a shorty. Chill with your children, man. Because when you go to jail, you don't go to jail by yourself. Everybody who loves and cares about you goes with you, especially your children. You know what I mean? As soon as you have a kid, your life ain't yours no more. That's another thing people need to realize. As soon as you have a kid, your life ain't yours no more. Your life belongs to that child, bro. So whatever decisions you make affect that child, good, bad, or ugly. Thank God I never went to prison. You know what I mean? And I made sure of it. Not God did, but you know what I mean? I put myself in positions. I put myself in positions to go to prison. I put myself in positions to not go. You know what I mean? When I got off the block, I got a job. Stuck with that job, was the best person at that job, you know what I mean? Because that ain't, that wasn't, being on the block wasn't my journey, wasn't my journey, for lack of a better word, because you gotta have a level of evil, I guess, or darkness, and I ain't got it. I've had it at times, and I can have it with the best of them, but that ain't my thing. I'm here to love. I'm here to show love. I'm here to care. I'm here to be an asset. I'm a man. I'm supposed to be an asset to the people around me. I'm supposed to be a leader. How you gonna lead from the grave? How you gonna lead from the penitentiary? And it's all big trick. You know how many people go to you know how many people send their kids to college off of your mistakes? You know how many people go on vacation off of your mistakes? You know how many people pay their bills, their mortgage, their car note, their insurance because of your mistakes? You going to jail, you committing a crime, you killing the next man is big business. And they kill two birds with one stone. They get one black man dead, they get another one in jail. Come on, man, stop falling for the trick. You call yourself smart, be real smart. Sometimes being smart just staying away from niggas. And don't let no girl get you caught up either. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. Don't mess with nobody's girl. You don't go in nobody's house. We trying to disrespect. See, that's the problem with us as black people, period. People, period. Especially, we like to show off on people. We like to shine on people because we insecure. It all comes from insecurity. Lame crap. You know what I mean? I don't need to shine off the next man. I'm him. You him too. We all him. I'm saying? Same thing too with ladies. Don't be playing with dudes' hearts. People are killed over there. Don't be playing with them. You know what I'm saying? You play that game. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? Know who you playing with. You know what I mean? But as men, we gotta control our emotions, man. You can't be tripping over nothing. Shorty break your heart. Oh well, keep it moving. How strong are you? That's true strength. Can you endure? That's what a man's supposed to be able to do. Endure. Can you endure when something painful happens to you? Can you take it on the chin like a G and say, all right, on to the next? Or you gonna wild out? Trip on her, trip on the kids, mess your life up. I just heard somebody killed himself, the kid, and the woman. Like, come on, bro. Come on, what are we doing, bro? You got parents, you got people that care about you. Like, come on, bro, it ain't worth it. You don't know how long life is. My grandfather, 90 years old, 90. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just stop the violence, man. Stay out the way, man. Enjoy your life. Enjoy what God has made for you. If you gotta, get away from people, get away from people. You gotta be alone, whatever. Trust God. That's another thing. Trust God. They've done everything they can to separate you from God. Don't you see that? Trust in God Almighty. He got your back. But you gotta surrender. You gotta surrender to God's will. That's why I've been so protected and taken care of. I surrendered to God's will. And I didn't do it easily, but I was open to it because I wanted to save my life. I wanted to change my life for the better. I wanted to be a better man, a better father. You know what I mean? So, like I said, just stop the violence, man. If you got a gun, keep it in the safe. Half the time, you know what I mean? Like, niggas be outside like they really got war. Like, as soon as you come out, like, I'm not saying that people don't have no beef. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy out here. Niggas don't fight no more, man. Niggas, you know why niggas don't fight? Because they scared. They scared to take that L, and, so they'd rather kill somebody and go to jail for the rest of their lives. Right. Anyway, God bless us all. God bless you. One love. Stop the violence. Keep the peace. Stay out the way. And enjoy this beautiful life that you have been blessed with. One.